It was a rainy Tuesday morning in the downtown courthouse, the kind of morning that made everyone impatient. The smell of wet paper, coffee, and cheap perfume filled the air. Inside courtroom 4B, Judge Raymond Cole sat high on the bench, stern, confident, and known for his quick judgments. He prided himself on being efficient, though many called him arrogant behind closed doors. The next case was called State versus Williams. The door opened, and a young woman stepped in. Her clothes were simple, a plain gray dress, a second-hand coat, and shoes that had clearly seen years of wear. She carried no briefcase, no assistant, no sign of wealth or privilege. Her name was Maya Williams. She looked nervous but calm, her eyes sharp despite her modest appearance. Judge Cole barely glanced up. "You the defendant?" he asked with a smirk. Maya nodded. "Yes, Your Honor." He flipped through the papers on his desk. Charge of trespassing and disorderly conduct. And no attorney present? Couldn't afford one. The courtroom chuckled softly. Maya's hands tightened around her coat. "No, Your Honor. I'll be representing myself." Cole leaned back, amused. "Representing yourself? You do understand the seriousness of these charges, don't you? This isn't some traffic ticket." "I understand perfectly," she said evenly. "Good," he replied, sarcasm dripping. "Then this will be quick." The prosecutor stood, already grinning. "Your Honor, the defendant was caught on private property after hours, causing a disturbance." Maya interrupted gently. "Correction, sir. I was on public property. The Community Legal Aid Center that I volunteered with for 2 years." The courtroom murmured. Cole frowned. "You're interrupting counsel." "Let him finish." "I apologize," she said softly. The prosecutor continued. She refused to leave the premises and raised her voice an officer. Maya spoke again, steady this time. "I raised my voice because the officer was unlawfully detaining a minor, a 15-year-old boy who had come to me for help after being harassed by the same officer." The room went quiet. Judge Cole's pen froze midair. "Do you have any evidence of this claim?" he asked. Maya nodded. "Yes, Your Honor. Body cam footage from that night. The video clearly shows the officer's conduct, as well as my attempts to intervene legally." She walked forward, handing the bailiff a flash drive. "And how exactly did you obtain this?" the judge asked. "Through a discovery motion I filed under case statute 14B. She replied without hesitation. Judge Cole raised an eyebrow. "You seem rather familiar with court procedure for someone representing herself." Maya smiled faintly. "I should be. I spent 3 years studying it at Harvard Law." The room fell completely silent. The prosecutor blinked. "Wait, Harvard." Cole leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "You're a lawyer?" Maya nodded. "Graduated top of my class. I passed the bar 5 years ago. But instead of joining a firm, I chose to work with low-income families, those who can't afford the kind of justice others take for granted." A heavy pause filled the courtroom. The judge's mocking tone vanished, replaced with a faint hint of embarrassment. "Then why list yourself as a defendant?" Maya looked directly at him. "Because I was defending someone who couldn't defend themselves. The boy wasn't my client on paper, but he deserved to be protected. And when I was arrested for stepping in, I decided to let the system see what it does to those who don't have power." The judge swallowed hard. The prosecutor shifted uncomfortably. "Ms. Williams," the judge said slowly, "it appears there may be some misunderstanding in how this case was filed." Maya didn't move. "No misunderstanding, Your Honor. Just a mirror held up to the system." He sighed, leaning back in his chair. "This case is dismissed," he said finally, voice quieter now. "And the officer involved will be referred for review." Maya nodded, gathering her things. Before she left, she turned toward the bench. "Your Honor," she said, "justice isn't supposed to be about appearances. It's about truth. And sometimes, truth comes in worn shoes and second-hand coats." The judge's eyes softened. "You're right, Ms. Williams," he said quietly. "Perhaps I needed that reminder." As Maya walked out of the courtroom, whispers followed her. Not of mockery this time, but of respect. The same people who had laughed when she entered now watched her like they were witnessing something rare. Courage wrapped in humility. Later that day, Judge Cole sat alone in his chambers, staring at the empty bench. For years, he believed power came from position. But that morning, a young woman with nothing had reminded him that real power came from purpose. And somewhere outside the courthouse, Maya Williams walked into the rain with a small smile. She had proven once again that respect isn't earned through titles or wealth. It's earned through action, truth, and the courage to stand alone when everyone else looks away. Because sometimes the one you mock for being poor turns out to be the one who understands justice better than you ever will.